inside the 10. They could not stop him. He's in. Touchdown, Ohio State. Now the important point after attempt. Oh, he missed it. It's no good, and they still trail by a point. Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away. Return here from inside the 15-yard line. And he's brought down at the 28. That's where the drive will start. Just underway, and this home crowd is fired up and ready to make a difference today. An inside give now from the shotgun.
See, that's how you limit what an offense wants to do. This time, the defense just won the battle up front at the line of scrimmage, not giving up any big plays. Everybody's gap sound. It's really solid defense on that play.
The offense now operating in empty. They look to throw it here on second down. He's running out of time here. And he cannot escape the defense with a sack.
What a play here by this defensive line. You can get so caught up in the flashy offense of Ohio State in recent years. But let's not forget, they still play defense in the shoe and have such great history and tradition with that defensive line play.
Well, a serious challenge for this offense. You don't want to be in third and long inside your own 20. How much of a risk will they take to try to pick up this first down? From the shotgun, drops back. Incomplete. He was hit as he threw the football there on third down.
Yeah, see what the quarterback's trying to do here. He's holding on to that football to the last possible second to give that play a chance. But he held it just a little bit too long, and the defense is able to hit him to force that incompletion.
Here comes the powerful Ohio State offense onto the field. Last possession, a perfectly blocked running play. They scored in one play. Can they keep it going? It's a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defense does a really nice job here of being able to contain their run game, held just to 2 yards. Chris, to me, this changes the playbook a little bit now for the offense. The guy calling the plays at 2nd and 8, that's a different deal. Now he's got to probably thinking about going through the air instead of staying on the ground.
Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. Quarterback looking to pass here on 2nd down. And the pass is intercepted as he throws into double coverage that time. Look out, he's got some space. Touchdown, Oregon. And the defense adds 6 from the interception return. And a pick 6, a monster play by this defense here, Kirk.
That defender showed a lot of athletic ability there with the ball in his hands. I wouldn't be surprised if the head coach watching that thought about maybe giving him some reps as a returner after that touchdown.
And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. The offense will start at the 25. Here comes the Buckeye offense onto the field. They have got to bounce back on this possession after throwing a pick 6 last time out here. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, the back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
And the ball is handed off out of the shotgun. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Well, I don't think the offensive line gave the back much of a chance at all. Now, give credit to the defense. It was almost like they were anticipating a run and got up close to the line of scrimmage in a hurry.
They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. And he slings this pass over the middle. Oh, it's picked off. What a play. Going the other way. Can they stop him? That's a potential game changer, the pick and the big return.
I'm going to give the defensive coordinator a tip of the cap here. They went with dime coverage with 6 defensive backs, which gives them a lot more speed on the field. And with those defensive backs, they're able to play better in space. They recognize the ball, step in front of it for a nice interception.
And the Ducks' powerful offense is back on the field. They're coming off a 3-and-out, looking to produce a positive drive here. The sophomore able to bring him down quickly.
The defensive coordinator this week all week telling us about gap integrity, not giving this running back any creases at all. Really sound defense on that play.
The linebacker shifting around now. As a design quarterback keeper. And he's able to find some room before they finally bring him down. The Ducks come to the line in the hurry up. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play.
These quarterbacks today in the college game are so athletic. They can beat you with their arm, obviously. But just when you think you have them figured out, they tuck the ball and go. I'd expect this defense to put in a spy to keep this quarterback from running.
And they stop him at the 4 after an excellent run.
Boy, how about that play, Chris? That thing just opened up. The back shot through there with great acceleration. What a pickup there on 1st down.
The Ducks pick up enough to get a 1st down there. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Ball back at the 6 for 2nd and goal off that loss. Change of pace now, looking to throw the football. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty simple. The defensive line does a great job of getting after the quarterback and forcing him into that incompletion.
And here comes the noise. This crowd is trying to inspire this defense to make a big red zone stop. And this one goes nowhere. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. So now here comes a crucial call on 4th and goal. The coach told us Kirk, field goals aren't going to win this game. It's an aggressive move.
Well, they've got the opportunity here to come up with a touchdown if they go for it. But already 3 tries from inside the 10-yard line and nothing. Maybe you consider kicking a field goal and at least getting the 3 points. Boy, this guy's usually more reliable than this. I thought that was going to be an easy field goal and 3 points, but instead he misses, so you walk away with nothing.
Keeping it on the ground here. Well, they test the middle there, but get nothing. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? Play action fake. Looking to throw. And he's going to fire this one deep down the middle. That deep shot is caught for a big gain. A new set of downs after that completion. It's a run to the left. And a decent gain there before the defense brings him down.
Chris, it's the consistency of his back is giving this defense fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, but it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires. From the shotgun, it's a handoff. And they'll stop him after a short gain.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Oregon 14, Ohio State 6.
Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter. And he drops back in the gun. Quick throw to the left. Pass caught. Can he get in? Brought down at the 3-yard line, but this offense now has a first down and goal right there.
Chris, it's so easy to get excited about the receivers on the outside and their ability to make big plays, but the slot receivers are just as exciting, especially with their finesse, quickness, and ability to make guys miss in the middle of that field.
They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, this defense is being challenged. They're close to their own goal line, but how about this play? All 11 guys coming together. They stood firm. The result is a short loss for the offense. Nice job.
Backed up to the 5-yard line now for second and goal. Pre-snap motion from the offense. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. The junior able to bring him down quickly.
Man, that jet sweep action puts so much pressure on a defense. You get so locked in on the ball attacking you downhill. But when offenses sprinkle this kind of offense in, it stretches this defense out wide and can create some vertical seams for big plays.
Quarterback pre-snap adjustments now for this defense. The offense will take their first time out of the half to talk strategy here.
Timeout, Ohio State.
They've been stopped on third down twice in the red zone already. Can they find the end zone this time? Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
Well, Chris, we're still here in the first half, but you got to wonder after that stop there on third down. Now we got a fourth down situation, and now you're in the red zone. Got to wonder, you want to take the 3 points the easy way, or do you roll the dice and try to take a chance and try to come up with a touchdown?
The coach is not feeling the field goal attempt. They're going for it on fourth and goal here. Send the back in motion. And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. Running out of time in the pocket. And they can't complete it. It's a turnover on downs. Defense stepping up there.
Chris, I like the call here going for it on fourth down, but the receiver has got to do a better job of knowing exactly where that first down marker is and run that route a yard or two beyond the sticks to be able to give yourself a chance to pick up the first down. Instead, the defense comes up with a stop and they get the ball back.
Just trucks through the defender. He picks up the first down, but gets drilled on the tackle.
Sometimes I almost get mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, the eyes that carry their feet to the open space, making people miss. I just love watching those guys do work.
Pitches to the back. It's good for a 3-yard gain, so second and 7.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense has countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example
for his big tight end. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out the punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, he's unable to hold on to the football.
A tough situation for the offense. Third and long from their 25. Let's see if the defense brings some heat here. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Pressure is coming. Receiver makes the grab. And they finally make the stop, but a huge gain. Moves the ball into enemy territory, down at the 49.
Well, it's one thing to hear about how fast this receiver is in the scouting report. You look at him on film all week. The defense coordinator tells you, get ready, this guy can run. And then the reality comes. And this guy can fly. You see it again here. Nice catch.
The Ducks will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense. Looking to pass here on second down. Catch made on the right side. Makes the first down, but pays a price. Big hit there at the end. The offense going with the hurry-up.
Boy, nice completion here by this Oregon offense to be able to show you it's not just about the quarterback's ability to run. Often you associate that with that Oregon quarterback, right? That dual threat guy, a guy that can run it. Do not forget about their ability to throw the football out in Eugene. Think about Darren Thomas, the career that he had. He started for a few years, took his team all the way to the national championship, made some big throws. And Justin Herbert, of course, enough said, we see it every NFL Sunday what he can do. 4-year starter for the Ducks. We're still seeing these Ducks quarterbacks being able to throw the football.
So here comes second down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. Ball handed to the running back. He powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks.
Man, that's another touchdown for this guy. This defense better adjust and get eyes into that backfield, or he may go for a third or a fourth later today.
But they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more.
That makes the score Oregon 21, Ohio State 6.
Kickoff team on the field getting set now.
Set to kick this one away.
Turn starts inside the 15. And he's tackled at the 21. That's when the drive will start.
Ohio State Buckeyes will take over 1st and 10.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense back on the field. Not a whole lot of time remaining before halftime to cut into this lead. Takes the ball and heads to the left side. Breaking free at the 35. Breaks clear. End zone ahead. Crosses the 10. Finally goes out of bounds after gobbling up big yardage on that run.
Well, you can just feel the home crowd standing on their feet when this running back had a chance to start to accelerate downfield. They know exactly what this guy is capable of doing, that he can flat out go. He took off on that one.
First and goal, handoff. Couldn't quite get there, brought down at the 2.
A pretty good push up front here by this offense line to get some positive yards here. You wonder if they're going to be able to run it in, or they're going to have to spread this defense out and try to find a one-on-one matchup to put the ball through the air for the touchdown.
Looking to score with a run to the right. He takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Chris, we're still early in this football game. We're in the second quarter. It's a critical touchdown to get their confidence to believe that they can come back and still win this game.
Now the try here for the extra point.
On for the extra point.
The extra point is good. They trail by 8, 21-13. the returner decides to signal fair catch. And that powerful Oregon offense retakes the field. A little bit of my turn, your turn on the early going here. Both offenses scoring touchdowns their last possession. They bring him down to the 32-yard line.
Man, when your quarterback can run the football like this, it puts so much pressure on the defense. The defense coordinator spent all week preparing his unit to be able to stop this offense. But when this quarterback's able to pull it down and pick up yards...
The catch is made for a huge pickup. And they'll bring him down, but this offense creates a huge chunk play.
Boy, a huge play by this offense. A good throw, a nice accurate throw. But I think it's the run after the catch that really impresses me. And early in this game, you got to think they're going to continue to go back to him until this defense shows that they can slow him down.
Here comes a throw from the red zone. Quarterback leaves the pocket on the move now. Goes to his right side there for the completion. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
This guy can do it all. We've seen him go behind coverage and make plays downfield. We can see him catch the ball underneath, just like this. And when he catches a football, he is so dangerous after the catch. This one leads him into the end zone for the 6 points.
And they'll set up for the PAT. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. So the offense getting some momentum before halftime with the touchdown. Now they kick off in hopes the defense can get a quick stop. Kick bounces out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the powerful Buckeye offense back onto the field. Backed up this close to the end zone in the final minute. Let's see if they just decide to take care of the football and look toward the second half.
Chris, you know, the spread era over the years has always grown offensively, but what I've been always impressed with defenses that really build their defense to play in space still have an ability to be sound at the line of scrimmage and defend a running game. It's exactly what we saw right there.
A timeout is called. Important stage late here in the second quarter.
Well, I feel like they called that knowing chances are they're not going to hit a home run. But look at this. Put themselves in a perfect third down situation. It's much more manageable. Now we'll see if they can convert.
Third down, out of the shotgun. Finds a man open on the right side downfield. Breaks into the clear. It's a sprint. And he takes it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Here's the point after attempt. PAT up and good. They get a little bit closer. So the offense gets momentum scoring before halftime. Now the kickoff. We'll see if the defense can get a stop and preserve that momentum. And here's the fair catch by the return man. Here comes the first play of the drive. Can they do something in the final 30 seconds of the half? On 1st and 10, looking to throw. And he's going to stretch the defense, taking a deep shot here. That's a big gain, finally brought down near the 37. So a timeout is called to talk strategy. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays before halftime. So the offense takes the field in the final seconds of the half. Chance for just a couple more plays. Fires it to the wideout. Makes the catch downfield. And finally tackle him down at the 2-yard line. What a play on that completion. And the offense will call a timeout. That's their second of the half.
Timeout, Oregon.
Time ticking away. Time for just one more play before halftime. press coverage now from the secondary. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Touchdown, Ducks. Still no answer for this offense.
Well, that's a well-oiled machine right there. Everyone on this offense has been a star in their roles. And when they're rolling like this, it results in quick and positive results.
They're set now to try the PAT. And the PAT makes it a 15-point lead. So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. And the returner elects to fair catch it. No return. This will likely be the last play of the half. And now the handoff. Fights through a tackle. They make the tackle as time expires. That'll do it for the first half. Meadows going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update. The Buckeyes will kick this away to start the second half. And the fair catch signaled for and taken. And the powerful Ducks offense retakes the field. First play of the second half, they keep it on the ground. Try to run it up the middle, but get nothing. And the Ducks will come to the line to run the hurry up. Second down, we're going to throw it. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end.
And there's the tight end who shows off his hands.
Important third down play coming up. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. And it's good for a first down to the 36.
How impressive these guys been up front today. Big third down, know what you need to do, get the first down, continue to hold on to that lead, continue to work clock, and get that much closer to securing it.
Catch is made way down inside the 30. Touchdown, Oregon. Stretching the lead. This one is getting ugly. How important was that touchdown, Kirk? It's now a two-possession game here in the second half.
It's a great job of this offense with their execution and having situational awareness here in the second half. They now have, as you said, Chris, this two-possession lead. They got a great chance to finish it off and get a win.
Now the kickoff team is out on the field. That one bounces through the end zone, so they'll start at the 25. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense back on the field. Heading left after the handoff. The defense all over it. They stop him right at the line.
That back just had nowhere to go. Got to give credit to the defense and their run fits on that play.
Empty set now. 5 wide receivers. Quarterback looking to throw it on second down. Looking for his big tight end. Catch made, a lot of space now. A big play moves the ball across midfield to the opponent's 43. The offense really clicking here.
Boy, the tight end here just gets lost in coverage. Quarterback does a good job of kind of working progressions. He sees that tight end. His eyes light up. Makes a great throw and a big game for this offense.
Trying to create outside the pocket now. Using his legs on the scramble. And he'll be smarter right at the line for no gain. Second down after that previous play. Quarterback appears to be changing the play. They look to throw it here on second down. Got him. He's sacked.
Nothing is more gratifying for a defense to be able to sit back and play zone and still get pressure on the quarterback with your defensive front.
Urgency now for the offense that hate to come up empty on this drive down multiple scores. So the offense calls a timeout here. That's their first of the half.
Ohio State.
What will the call be on third and long now from the 44? Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. Lets it go quickly. And he's got his man open downfield. Defense stops him short of the marker. So now it's fourth down. The Buckeyes hustle to the line to run the hurry up. And he's throwing for it on fourth down. It's complete. That's enough for a first down. They've got him, but he easily makes the first down, and this drive keeps going. Buckeyes keep the football on the move.
The offense with a big opportunity in the red zone.
From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. That's caught. It's Leon. Running right through tacklers. Tackle at the 6-yard line after the completion. Offense really threatening now.
Simple pitch and catch on the drag route. Quarterbacks love these routes because they're short throws. Those yards after the catch kind of pad your stats.
So down here in the red zone, every yard tough to find. Here is a crucial play coming up. And he's tackled down at the 4-yard line. Defense getting pushed back.
Chris, I just don't know about short gains like this, especially keeping the ball on the ground. The clock keeps moving. They need points on that scoreboard in a hurry. Got to throw the football. You cannot afford to allow this clock to keep ticking.
Crucial. Third down coming up in the red zone. Can they keep the drive going, or will they have to settle for 3? Here's some pre-snap movement in the backfield. Here's a throw underneath to the back. They go backwards on that third down completion. Sets up a fourth down.
Man, really good job here by the defense. Flying around, recognizing the ball is out, and then making the tackle short of the first down.
Crucial play. Down double digits in the second half. They're going to go for it on fourth down. Looks like the QB is changing the play at the line. Needs a completion here on fourth down. Looking to the end zone. The pass is intercepted. At midfield. Now the 40. Inside the 20. Return to pick 6. Touchdown, Ducks.
Well, an aggressive approach by this offense backfires. The defense not fooled at all. Good job of stepping in front of this throw, and they take it back for a touchdown.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. Getting set to kick the ball off now.
Oregon 49, Ohio State 20.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone. So a touchback will start at the 25. And the Ohio State offense comes back onto the field. They're trying to recover from that last possession. They had things going, but then a pick 6, a devastating play. They got to recover from that right now. Stopped short of the marker after just a short gain.
Nice solid run here by this back. Did a nice job of just kind of finding that lane, pick up some positive yards there on 1st and 10.
second down after that run on the previous play. They'll feed the back again. Breaks loose at the 40. Oh, and he's in the clear now. It's a foot race. Inside the 10. They're not going to get him. He's in. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Oh, my. What a great play call here by the offensive coordinator. The running back received some great blocking up front and just took off with it, carving up this defense all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point was up and good. Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away.
Ohio State, 27.
He'll call for the fair catch here. And the Oregon offense is back out on the field. First down. They're going to throw the football. He'll take a deep shot here. Caught way downfield for a huge gain. That's a huge gain. Stop finally made at the 43.
That is great arm strength and accuracy by this quarterback. And let's not forget the wide receiver's job of bringing it in for that big gain.
This line getting set up. It's a first down play. And the quarterback dropping back. Looking to throw it deep. Makes the catch. Can he get in? Touchdown, Oregon. And the beatdown continues. So the offense flexing, Kirk, and stretching the lead here now in the second half.
Well, you can catch your breath here a little bit if you're this offense. That touchdown can help you out. But now your own defense can help you preserve the lead so you can go back out and continue to build upon that to the finish.
And they're able to tack on the extra point.
Oregon, 56.
Kickoff team has come on the field now to send this one away.
Number 18, set to kick off.
Returner decides to fair catch this. Here comes the powerful Ohio State offense onto the field. Takes the handoff and he'll head left. Nothing doing in that play. The big D tackle there for the stop. The Buckeyes hustle to the line to run the hurry up. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. So it's third and long from the 29. The defense play coverage or blitz. They'll hand it off. That'll pick up a first down out at the 37.
You know, even though that these guys are facing a deficit, they're not just going all through the air. Love the fact that you're running the football, keeping this defense honest, not panicking by just throwing every single down. Now you got a new set of downs and a chance to keep moving the ball down the field.
And he's brought down short of the line to gain in what should be the last play of this third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, Oregon 56, Ohio State 27.
Here we go. First play of the quarter. Offense setting up for a second down play. The tight end goes in motion before the snap. And he will be stuffed for no gain.
Well, that's an excellent effort here by this defense, staying in their run fits, holding their own at the line and making the tackle. The offense just couldn't get enough of a push to get anything going there.
Offense looking to keep the drive going here. Third and short now from the 44. Quarterback checks the defensive look, makes some adjustments. Bringing pressure. Incomplete. They cannot connect on the deep ball.
Oh, the quarterback and receiver just not quite on the same page. But the good news is it's fourth down and short. And trailing in this game, you've got to convert here to keep your hopes alive.
The offense stays on the field, down multiple possessions. Easy choice. Fourth down. He's throwing for it. That's a bullet right into the heart of the field. And it's intercepted. He stepped in front of that bullet. He's got some room and some blockers here. So a great return following the pick. They're finally able to get him down.
Boy, would this quarterback love to have this one back. They're trying to work themselves back into this game here in the second half. And the defense comes up with a big turnover that could be the nail in the coffin.
And the Oregon offense comes back out on the field. They take the field with serious momentum. They have been tough to stop so far. Can they keep it going? He'll take a deep shot here. Deep ball is caught for a huge gain here. Potentially a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a long completion.
And first down for the offense.
That's a design quarterback keeper. Breaks a tackle on the play, makes a decent gain. Here comes a crucial second down play. Every yard tough to find down here in the red zone. Ball carrier brought down at the 4. Offense in great scoring position here. And the Ducks will hustle to the line to crank the tempo. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. Couldn't quite get there. Brought down at the 2. It's a second and goal play for the offense. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Nowhere to run. They'll corral him for no gain. They get nothing on second down. Sets up a third and goal from the 2. Linebackers trying to confuse this offense now. The pass rush closing in. And he just throws that one away. Took a big shot, but avoids the sack.
Interesting call here, Chris, to throw the ball on third and short. Unable to come up with a first down. Now here at fourth down, you got a big decision to make. Do you kick the field goal just to add to the lead, or maybe go for this here with a chance to drop the hammer?
Big play for both teams. The offense punch it in. Fourth and goal from the 2. And looks like the quarterback's going to run it. He's not going to get there. The defense rises up and makes a huge fourth down stop.
Chris, how about this? The offensive coordinator decides to run the quarterback on a design run to try to catch the defense napping, but the defense was not having it at all. Waiting for that play to be run, comes up with a nice stop to get the ball back.
On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Quarterback looks to his right and finds his man. Oh, and he breaks free. It's a foot race. At the 30. The 10. No stopping and takes it all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State.
I can't believe they threw the football. I think the defense is surprised as well. Looked like they had everybody up near the line of scrimmage to just stop the run because they thought they might take the easy way out. Instead, they show confidence in the quarterback. They throw the football, and my gosh, does it pay off. 99 yards for a touchdown.
And the PAT is good. Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner an opportunity to bring this back. He's got it inside the 15. He's tackled at the 21. That's where the drive will start.
And the Oregon offense will take over first and 10.
And the Ducks' powerful offense is back on the field. The last possession, they were stopped on a fourth down try. Can they get something going here? First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. Short pass finds the tight end. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks, more than enough for a first down.
You know, they've got a lead here late in the game, and the play calling, I think, shows you how much confidence they have in this quarterback. He's had a pretty clean game today, and this decision to still throw the ball with the lead shows you that they believe he's going to make the right decisions and make accurate throws.
He's going to pull it down and run. Quarterback gets down to avoid the big hit.
Chris, watch him work through his progressions here. Finds the first and the second option aren't there. By the third option, he's got to pull it down and try to pick up some positive yards, of which he did, and then he slides down to avoid the big hit.
On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. That deep shot is caught for a big gain. Touchdown, Ducks. To stretch the lead, the route is on. Looked like a total bust there. Easy pitch and catch like you'd see in a Tuesday practice.
Yeah, that quarterback's eyes must have lit up on that play because you've got one of your players way downfield without any defender around him.
Now they line up to kick the extra point. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away.
63, Ohio State, 34.
And he fields it inside the 15. And he's brought down at the 28. That's where the drive will start.
And your Ohio State Buckeyes will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Buckeye offense onto the field. Last time out, a one-play touchdown drive through the air. Can they keep it going here? Fights off a defender.
Running back, Noah Garrett, picks up 1. 2nd down coming up.
The offense goes 5 wide, empty backfield. Quarterback adjusting now to the defense. Looking to pass here on 2nd down. Here's the throw deep downfield. And that is interception number 5 as the nightmare performance continues. And that's a solid return after the interception.
I just don't think there's anything else you can do as a play caller. You've got to be able to throw the ball downfield. You just got to hope that your quarterback and receivers can execute when the defense knows it's coming. Here, the interception cost them.
And that powerful Oregon offense retakes the field. Here comes a 1st down pass attempt. And he dumps it off to the tight end. Physical run earns the 1st down. The Ducks looking to use the up-tempo offense here.
Chris, another accurate throw by this quarterback, and this guy has just been on fire all game long. Over 200 yards passing, but more importantly, making great decisions for this offense and put them in a position to win this game.
So after the incompletion, it's 2nd down. Quarterback drops back. Throws to the tight end. And the pass is intercepted. A takeaway for the defense. And he'll be taken down, but after a good return.
What a play by the defense. Really, the only way they can get back into this game is to create a turnover. They get an interception, and they're in business.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense back on the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. Looking to scramble. On the run, he'll let it go. Catch made on the right side. That's a big gain. Great move in the open field. And a huge gain. They finally bring him down at the 11. But his defense has played well with a letdown there. Not too comfortable with this big lead at the moment, maybe.
Yeah, and what I love to see is this offense has not given up. This game has not gone the way they had hoped, but here they are taking a few swings late in this game. This one ends up working out, and now let's see if they can put another play or two together and get the points on the board.
And he's finally tackled at the 3. Defense getting pushed backwards. So here comes 2nd down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. Sticking with the running game. Touchdown, Buckeyes. He would not be denied.
Yeah, they run the football here. They come up with a touchdown. Obviously, this game is out of reach, but again, they're fighting to the very end, which is always good to see.
Point after, up and good. I believe they're lining up to attempt an onside kick. Timeout called by the defense, their first of the half, as they try to make some adjustments here. I believe they're going to line up here and go for the onside kick. And the receiving team has recovered. Looks like the hands team did its job. Offense stops the clock with their second timeout to talk strategy. The offense with 5 receivers now, empty backfield. Looking to throw it on first down. Defense is coming after him. Nothing open downfield, so they'll just throw it away.
Man, I like this play. Not only is it the right play, throwing it away like that, but given that he had no other option, he just did what he's supposed to do to survive and get ready for this next down.
Not able to connect, incomplete. They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. Linebackers moving around, trying to confuse the offense. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Going for a big play downfield. Catch made down inside the 15. Touchdown, Oregon. And the route is on.
Well, if you're going to give it to him, he's going to take it. That's his 3rd touchdown today against this defense. Whether they play zone or they play man, he's finding ways to win matchups and get the ball to the end zone.
The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away.
Ohio State, 41.
He'll bring it out from his end zone. And they stop him at the 11. Not good field position to start the drive. Here comes the powerful Buckeye offense back onto the field. This has been a rough game for these guys. Not much left to do but play for pride. First play of the drive, they're going to throw the football. And now in the final couple minutes, here's a deep shot. The catch is made for a huge pickup. And the offense will wisely spend a timeout after the play. Clock management is going to be very important here in the final minutes. One play, lose the ball to go 45. It'll be first down. That's the wide receiver coming in motion now. First down, looking to throw the ball. Oh, it's dropped off the tip by the defense there. It's going to bring up second down.
Boy, this offense has really struggled today, Chris, when it comes to throwing the football. They have dug themselves a huge hole. They're not going to have any chance of coming back. And I think one thing about this is you wonder where you go from here. You're hoping to make a play or two to give yourself a belief that things can get better, but it's just been a disastrous day for the offense.
Finally out of bounds after a solid gain, but there is a flag on the field. So let's check this out. First down and 10 now. The quarterback making some changes at the line. And looking to throw now on first down. The pocket breaking down. Junior steps up and makes an impact play.
It is a sack party out there for this defense. Everything going their way. You know that this offense is going to try to throw the football down by such a big margin late in the game. And this defensive line is bringing the heat. They come up with another sack.
Quick throw to the left side. He makes the grab. Finding space at the 20. Tough running there. Breaks a tackle. Picks up the first down.
Hey, listen. listen, this game isn't over yet. The defense can't get too comfortable with this lead, and I know the coach isn't content with giving up plays like that at any point in the game.
Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. He's escaping the pocket now. Will he score here? Makes it across the goal line. Touchdown, Ohio State.
You know, today's not been their day, but the thing you can always hang your hat on is these guys are still competing. They come up with a touchdown here late in the fourth quarter. You can use that as hopefully some momentum into next week.
Automatic on the PAT. Formation would indicate they're going to try the onside kick here. And the defense stops the clock with a timeout. 24 seconds remaining. Looks like they're lining up to attempt an onside kick. And looks like the hands team are able to recover the football. Ducks offense retakes the field. We come back out protecting a safe lead. What an awesome feeling to be way ahead in a big road game. And the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, I'm surprised he dropped the ball here. This tight end is known for his hands. The ball's put on the money. Somehow it just goes through his arms.
Facing a 2nd and 10. Drops back from the shotgun, looking for an open man. Quarterback escapes the pocket and takes off.
Man, the defense took everything away from him. What do you expect him to do? He can't force the ball into traffic and potentially throw the interception. Does a good job of getting out of the pocket, away from the pressure, and just throw the ball away, see what happens on this next down.
Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. And he'll drop back here on 3rd down. And they heave it deep downfield. And it's caught at the 10. They bring him down, but the gain sets up the offense 1st and goal from the 10. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. He's running out of time here. He's moving out of the pocket. Looking for 6. Intercepted in the end zone. A really entertaining one. It was fun one to call. They get the W, Kirk, in a shootout.
Not much to criticize for either of these teams on the offensive side. Boy, they put on a great show. But for the two defenses, especially the losing squad, you can't imagine their coach is too happy with their performance.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.